It's Eli and Ashley from Legs Farms Coffee. Got Ashley in the background making himself a coffee because, that's the best drink in the world, especially if you buy it from Legs Farms Coffee. Yeah, that's the only way it can be good. Really, it's all of our research. It took about 5 seconds. Yeah. Well, we're on tonight just to talk about coffee and life. That's about it. Any comments?
I got about 30 seconds to go.
Okay.
Hey, this is Ashley, Legacy Farms Coffee. And of course, Eli. We're going to talk a little bit about this week. We're having a couple new coffees come online. One of them's going to be a washed Ika too. We have Hidio's coffee, which is Finca Osman. We have Anna's coffee, Finca Anna. We have an Ika 2 Natural. We have Lot 26 and Lot 25 Lempira Naturals. Both those are nice. Lot 25 is pretty funky. You have to love naturals to like that one. So if you've never had it before, order the 26, not the 25. Because I particularly don't like the 25 because it is so funky. But it is a nice coffee.
Yes. And you were just doing an AeroPress?
Oh, no.
What were you doing?
I'm doing a blend of, it's called
I mean, what the process, the method. What were you doing?
AeroPress.
AeroPress.
The coffee I'm drinking is called Julia's Joe. It is a mix of Perinema and Marciesa. It's not online yet, but it will be soon.
It's going to be fun.
And we're going to also have a coffee this year. It's supposed to be a lower grade coffee. We'll have some Sergeant Moore also, but we're going to have E-Cafe Noventa, which is E-Cafe 90, is what the translation will be.
It's a lot of E-Cafes.
So it's
what happened to the other 89?
Well, I just made a trade with Herbert for a bunch of the green coffee we couldn't sell. It wouldn't ripen. So at the end of the year, there's always green coffee. So today I just made a trade. I traded him, this is 145 so that'd be 14,000 pounds of coffee, of cherry coffee.
How many how many pounds in a Quintal?
A Quintal is 100, so we traded 145 Quintal, which should be 14,500 pounds of coffee in cherry. That's the raw beans. We traded that for 8 100-pound bags of parchment coffee.
Ooh.
So 800 pounds of parchment. You take about 25% off of that, and then that's about how much coffee we'll have. We should have about maybe 600 pounds, roughly, hand-selected coffee.
That's fun.
Yeah, I've nenever actually had Noventa.
Ooh.
So,
are we gonna plant some of it?
No. We've already got too much crap planted. So
we do need to get down some coffee though.
We're gonna plant another 5,000 or 6,000 Marciesa and Perinema this year.
Hopefully we can spread around some more of the Arabica and Robusta coffee.
We've got a couple of hundred Robusta. I think we've got a pound of Robusta, which selected out ought to be about 400 or 500 plants. And those will get planted this year, as well as the plants that got planted last year in the 2023 should have a little tiny bit of coffee next year. And then in 2 years, they ought to have a pretty good little crop. We're going to have maybe 10 pounds of geisha this year, 10 pounds of Mario Hipe. Those are our little personal garden.
Oh, we had more Mario Hipe. No, we had a lot more Mario Hipe.
No, that's my garden behind the house. Oh yeah, we did plant. We planted 400 more Mario Hipe plants, but you still got 2 years on those. They're slow growing.
That's the one.
There's no coffee in that plant. It's like on TV. I'm not sure why I'm pouring it from here to here.
Yeah, why?
I like this cup. We got this cup in the Alamo.
Alamo. Oh, we got this one in Honduras.
From Karen and
Greg
Greg. I'm sorry.
from
Gary's
Pike Road Coffee.
Gary's the cat.
And the other one. There's two Garys.
Yeah, good Gary, bad Gary.
Which one's which?
Well, I don't like the cat much, and I like the other one even less. So I shouldn't say that. It's not a good example from my impressionable son. Hey, if you guys will, hey Richard, how you doing?
Ooh.
Eka2 Natural. Yeah, I'm going to verify that real quick. The bag says Eka2. You can talk to me. Stay out of my chocolate.
Okay. Yeah, I know. I was gonna do it there. Yeah. Me and Richard, everyone else online. It's about how the show runs. He could do natural, confirmed.
Yeah, I've got about 50 pounds of Eka2 Natural. It's actually I think the first time we tried it, and so I've never actually had it, so I need to pull some out.
Yeah.
And try it. So we have a lot of little experimental ones, and somehow it got thrown in with all the other Eka2 bags of Eka2, and I just happened to see it, and I popped it out today. And so I'll try to sample roast it this week.
And like this week, we'll have it out probably.
We're going to talk to Julia.
About Julia's Joe?
Well, about Julia's Joe. And about getting her to put that online. Cocoa and ripe fruit are the cup and notes on that.
We have that already. I have another coffee that has cocoa and ripe fruit.
We have 2 or 3 cocos this year. A lot of them are probably natural.
Is cocoa like common or something, or what is it?
No, it's not very common. Yeah, there's we have actually this JP, that's Finca Juancito.
Perianema from Jonathan's farm. Cocoa and dry. What's the difference between cocoa and ripe fruit and dry? How can you tell the difference in taste
I'm not
of
sure.
those two
That would be something that Mr. Richard needs to roast both of them, and we'll figure it out.
The Eka2 Natural is not on right now. We'll try to get it on this week, though, right?
Yeah. We're going to talk to Julia.
It is pretty common. Oh, I was going to say, we have a...
Well, cocoa is pretty common, but not on our farm. This is the first year that we've gotten many cocos. Cocoa is just really, it's sort of that notch past chocolate.
Okay.
See, look at that. There's citrus, there's chocolate, there's caramel. But maybe we have 4 different coffees that
we have cocoa caramel. No, that's just chocolate. Yeah, it's almost oh, here's cocoa. Or is that chocolate? No, it's chocolate. Okay. Yeah, either like honey or caramel or chocolate on almost everything. That's crazy.
But we have that P3M, which is 88 plus coffee. It's Perianema, and it's the one that has a little bit of grapefruit in it.
Lot 30 is dry chocolate. Mm-hmm. Is that possible?
A lot gets more technical than I think, or a lot more sophisticated than my tongue is.
What?
Hey, Richard, if you'll shoot me a PM tomorrow, I'm just messing around with the machine tomorrow. And
Look at this. Hold on.
And we can go over some of the cuppings in detail.
Lot 3 of natural is cocoa, wine, and grapefruit.
Which one?
This one right here.
Okay. Cocoa, wine, fruit. Yeah, there's
grapefruit.
And grapefruit. Yeah.
That's a crazy. That sounds pretty crazy to me.
But when I say I have a small bag, that's all I've got of that one.
Okay, that makes sense.
So, Richard, I can give you a little bit of that if you'll tell me what your minimum batch size is, because technically I've already sold that to somebody else, but I told them I'd sell them whatever I had. So let me know what your minimum batch size is, and I'll give you like 6 or 8 ounces of it in your next order. I think I sent some of it. I forget who it was. Somebody put something on their paper today about they wanted to try some Sargy Moore, and that's what that one is. It's a Sargy Moore natural. So, Richard, do you like the naturals more than some of the other ones?
Wait, Sergeant More natural? Really? Seriously?
I bought 900 pounds of cherry Sargy Moore, and I split it into 3 lots, and I did some washed, honey, and natural. The idea was I was going to roast them all and compare them. This is one of my favorite treats. It's from the dollar store. It's $1 for a bar.
It's $1, and it helps like 100% of it goes to the Dollar General Literacy Foundation.
Oh, I didn't read that. That was a big word. So I skipped over it. Hey, there's a couple of people watching. If you guys want to shout out who you are, so we can say hi to you. Or
so you like you like naturals and washed more than honey? Okay. I'm still not a natural guy. As a natural is Julia's favorite coffee, but not mine. I like honey and washed.
I love the smell of it, especially when it's like that lot 25. It's just almost off-putting how funky it is, but there's just something about it that I enjoy.
Okay, I don't think we can give you that coffee then.
No, it's 240 grams.
240 grams.
Yeah, about a half a pound. Yeah, I can pull a half a pound out of that one, no problem. And Richard, are you doing B-more, or are you fresh roast, or am I completely wrong? Coffee did not work well.
You're gonna be great. Not get any sleep. Did you?
A little water in it.
Okay.
Can't make it any worse.
Said it was cold, except if it was cold.
The coffee I just drank, I did it in an AeroPress. It was to a regular grind. It should have been to a lot finer grind, and so I think that's what fresh roast. I've got the fresh roast 700. I've burned a lot of coffee on that bad boy.
The one back there. Is that the fresh roast?
Mm-hmm. That's that little black one in Honduras. I hardly ever use it anymore. Not that there's anything wrong with it. You just need to pay more attention when you're roasting, and I tend to not. And so it just seems like I think my fan is not very strong, because I have to really shake the machine around a lot to get it to moving. And then, and so I tend to have a Dunkin' Donuts kind of. I have a lot of dark and a lot of lighter. So I end up, instead of picking Quakers out, I'm picking really dark beans out. So it is not my favorite coffee.
Should make yourself another coffee, or what's going on?
I'm not sure what it's doing.
Oh, that's the one we bought in Chicago, right?
Yeah, I hate that thing. It's got this little touch thing.
That was so hard to work with.
The coffee kettle thing.
Yeah.
And you just touch it, but it was so cold in Chicago.
Yeah, why did we do?
I couldn't get my hands hot enough for it to cinch my fingers.
Yeah, and so it was so cold one day, and then it was so nice the next day, and we went out and bought warm clothes because we thought we would be cold.
It was still fairly chilly, but it was a beautiful day compared to what that first one was. The first one was brutal.
It was rainy, windy. They wouldn't let us put up they would let people put up signs behind them, but we couldn't put up our tarp. Yeah,
it was just blowing rain on us. Everything was wet. All the boxes that we took with us got wet.
Bags, some of the bags got wet. It was pretty awful.
Yeah, we just stayed wet that whole first day, and then
that
next day was nice, and that last day, Sunday, was really nice.
It was not 2 days.
Well, we got there on a Friday. It was cold on Friday. We went out and bought clothes that night. And then Saturday we were cold and wet. We got there on Friday and set up.
Yeah.
And so it was cold and wet. So we drove like 11 or 12 hours to get to Chicago, and then set up, and then went to the hotel. And they put us in a nice hotel.
That was a really nice. I mean, it was like it wasn't an overnight hotel. It was like a space for you to spend like a weekend or something.
Yeah, it had like a little mini kitchen, had a little stove, an oven.
Yeah, it was really fun.
It was,
I went to Target and got supplies.
Bought clothes. And
That's like the only time we've ever been to Target to get food.
it worked real good. Eli did a lot of cooking for us and saved us a lot of money.
That's interesting. That does make sense. I think Honduras is a little bit more, a little bit maybe better climate.
I don't know. I roasted some last night. I haven't tried it yet, but I roasted a natural peaberry last night because
That's a lot.
Well, I was.
Stuff.
That's a hard one to roast because the peaberry is a dense bean, and the natural is already sort of difficult to roast.
Huh.
And so I didn't feel like. Well, I haven't tried it yet. I'll wait 2 days, and so I'll probably try it on Friday. But I didn't feel I was running low on peaberry, and so I didn't feel like running out to the container and pulling a bag out. So I just didn't. I roasted what I had up on the shelf. I've got a little bit of Anna's peaberry that I'm probably going to sell, but I've got to open it up and look and see if it's a natural or a washed
We
peaberry.
haven't gotten you any peaberry yet, Richard. We need to get.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we need to try to do that. I'm going to pull a bag tomorrow. A bag that there's some of Herbert's in it and some of mine in it. Because generally about 1% of the crop is peaberry. So we do
that's a pretty good amount of peaberry.
Yeah. We end up with about 1.5%. Most of the meals, because a lot of the coffee is meal bought. And so when their big machines select it, a lot of those peaberries go out with the trash, and ours do too. But then we have the women come back in and pick the peaberries out of the trash, and so we have a lot more peaberries than some farms do. Trying to fight back at y'all. My son Jonathan thinks everything has to be Carhartt, so I've given him a hard time for a year or two.
How is it?
And so, it's okay. It's just a shirt.
Yeah, it really is. Just a shirt with a name on it.
I like it pretty well. They had them on clearance for like $13.
This is the only difference between a Walmart shirt. That's it.
They had Wranglers at Walmart today were like 15. So I got this Carhartt for 13. So I'm happy with it. It's a white T-shirt.
It's a name.
Has a pocket on it. So I like that. I like to put stuff in my pocket. Like chocolate. Well, Eli was telling me we've been back a week today. Yeah. Basically. So we're trying to get back into the swing of things. We're redoing a lot of stuff on the roaster. So we've taken it down. Well, when I got here, Jonathan and Noah did the best they could at roasting and keeping up with that. But when I got here, we were out of a bunch of coffees. And so I'd planned on the first day roasting, and nobody told me until I walked through the door. They never told me. I just walked through the door. Oh. And I saw a sprocket and a chain laying on the floor. And I was like, well, that can't be good.
Perfect.
And so I started to put all that on. And then Jonathan said, oh, and the motor won't come on. So the capacitors were burned up on the motor. And so apparently they just left the machine running to cool down. And by the time they went to come back in, the machine was off. So I guess Julia thought it shut itself off, but it didn't. One of the capacitors burned up in it.
Oh my.
So we tracked them down, went to Wichita and got a capacitor. It's like $26.
But just about now we put like every new thing imaginable on it.
Well, tomorrow it's got some fan belts on it, and it's got one master drive chain for the drum, and it's got a short drive train for the coolant tray. And so tomorrow I'm going to replace the 3 fan belts, and we've already put 2 new bearings on it. And so tomorrow I'll put 2 more new bearings on it, or 4 more new bearings on it. So it'll take 4 or 5 hours between customers coming in, stuff like that, and filling orders. It'll be most of the day. But we'll get it taken apart and just put. There was two bearings down. I figured the other four couldn't be too far behind, so might as well go ahead and replace them. When I get them off, the bearings that look pretty tight, we'll save those for emergency bearings, and then so she ought to run pretty good. We noticed that the machine was quite a bit faster
and quieter.
Yeah, definitely.
And we put in some like new.
I did just that foam, kind of hard foam insulation from Lowe's. I put a bunch of that in there.
I think it's definitely a lot quieter.
Well, and with the bearings not being shattered, and I think that was one of the reasons the motor got slow over a period of time, because it was that bearing was locking up and didn't realize it. And and there was a piece of duct tape. I don't know where the duct tape came from, but it was on my fan, my big squirrel cage fan, which is like a 20-something pound fan. And I guess it got sucked through the machine somehow, and I'm sure I probably put it in there. But when it hit that squirrel cage, it stuck to it, and it threw it off balance.
That's
and so
crazy.
That sucker rock and rolls when it goes.
So it's proven now that you cannot fix everything with duct tape.
Duct tape messes up some things. So
yeah, but most everything else you can fix it with duct tape, at least temporarily.
Yeah, I've got a couple little in the cooling tray. There's sort of a crack where beans slip through, so I need to. That may have been where the duct tape came from. It would make sense that it stuck it through there.
That would make sense.
Yeah, I probably won't put duct tape there again. But we'll stick something in there. I'm going to bring my little welder in.
Did you put it on the top or the bottom?
I put it underneath it.
You should try putting it on top.
Well, then the beans are too hot when they come out.
True.
And sort of start melting it.
Yeah.
No, we might try that next time. But I've got my welder, that little tiny welder. We'll bring that bad boy in here, and I'll weld a rod in there.
Or you can do like a super long strand from like one end to the other.
Of tape?
Mm-hmm.
No, I don't think I'll do duct tape again, just because if it were to stuck through there again, it's a nightmare to take all that stuff out of it.
Yeah.
So it's something I would not want to do again.
Yeah, but hopefully now we'll have all of your orders, on ready and have all the coffee for it.
Yeah, I roasted up like 200 pounds last night, so that'll keep us. That'll hold us for a few days.
Most of the buckets are looking pretty full.
No, I was going to try to do a variable speed thing. There's a lot of them online for 110 stuff, and I have them on all of the. We have 3 of the Hucky sample roasters. I have the variable speed on those, but it's a little more complicated, I guess, for the 220. So I've got to look a little harder to find one of those, but that's my goal. I'd like to try to see what modifications I could do on the machine, because basically it's what's called an artisan roaster. It had one manual temperature gauge on it, and that's it. And so we added in the air probe and the bean probe, and hooked that up to a fidget box, which is a 1048 box, 2 fidget probes, and then that hooks into my laptop where I use the Artisan program. And I don't know a ton about the Artisan program. I just sort of use it to watch my temperature and to make my arc the way I want it to and stuff like that. I'm not sure what you mean by Artisan 3. Are you talking about the roaster?
Yeah.
Richard's Artisan 3 is a air roaster.
Mm-hmm.
This is the Artisan program that you connect your probes and all up to. Yeah, no, it's not an air roaster. It's a regular drum roaster.
Gas and everything.
I don't know how well you can see that.
Not very.
But it'll hold. I normally do. I start out with 20 pound roast, then I move up to 22, And on my fifth roast last night, I was doing 25 pounds at a time. It takes a little while to get it rolled, rolling. But normally my batch size is 22 pounds. That's sort of the sweet spot, 22 to 25. I can put 35 in it, but it'll take 20 minutes. So I can do about every 12 to 13 minutes. And when it comes fundraising season, we're fixing to start doing a fundraiser here in about 2 weeks.
Oh yeah, what's
And for a soccer league in Wichita. So there's going to be, I think, 3 or 4 teams that are going to be selling coffee. And so
we start doing sporting events.
Yeah. I would like to do some sponsoring and stuff.
That would be fun.
Might work out to where, see if we can get our name on some uniforms. But right now, we've got an elementary school or 2, and then we've got a couple churches. One of them might be actually a homeschool, but and we have a couple fundraisers a year. The elementary school is usually the big one. Last year, they ordered 777 pounds of coffee and over 3,000 K-Cups.
It's insane what those kids can sell.
I just want to say that I hate K-Cups. I'm trying. Actually, the heating unit is out of a Probat. One of my customers had a Probat, or still has a Probat, and the Probat comes with propane nozzles and natural gas nozzles. And he was using the natural gas, so I traded him for the propane. And then I had to rig up a set of regulators for it because he didn't have the regulators for whatever reason. And so that's what we're using in there. So, and it works pretty good.
Ooh, I like archery. That'd be fun.
Anybody right now we've got enough fundraisers. We're having to worry now about spacing them so that we don't have 2 big ones hitting at the same time.
That was a problem last year.
Yeah. And we've tried to get our price to where it works for everybody, and mainly us, to where it's worth us doing,
It does take a lot of work to make 3,000. That wasn't.
And the problem is once you get that much, it has to be done pretty quickly. Then you have to start hiring people to come in.
Yeah.
And so, your profit goes out the window real quick. That's the main thing that keeps us alive is we don't really pay a lot of labor.
Including me.
No, but I talked to Eli a little bit yesterday about if he wants to start banking some money, then he can start coming in a couple days a week and work a half a day or something like that.
I get paid minimum wage.
No, we'll definitely pay more than minimum wage.
Oh, yeah.
And we feed you. So, and I'm not even sure what minimum wage is.
It's like $15.
No.
Oh, what is?
We're not in California. Well, I think it's probably $7.50, $8.50, something like that here in Kansas. The contract we make on our contract is from the day that they pay us. And some of them are finicky. Some of them won't pay till you deliver. But I like to get paid, especially the first year or 2. I like to get paid in advance. Just because if something were to go wrong, and I've roasted 700 pounds of coffee, we wouldn't be able to sell that much coffee before coffee started going bad.
That is true, but it's also kind of like there's got to be some law about that, right?
Child labor? No, I can do whatever I want to.
No, I mean about the free room and board. Isn't that like there's got to be some law
that we have to give you free room and board? Yeah, but it doesn't say if that room's got to be in the house or in the shed or exactly where the room is. And the board could be something that I whip you with, or.
Okay, I'm getting your point now.
He's got his own bedroom, so he doesn't have to deal with his brother.
That's good.
And that's not too bad.
Yeah, I don't have to worry about him blaring stuff until midnight or something.
Yeah, last night he was he got to go into work late today. So last night he decided to stay up late and watch a movie. And so
It was like Fast and Furious or something.
is that what it was?
I have no
But
idea.
a couple
what it's
times so he had turned it down a notch, but I think he turned it right back up again. He was sort of in a 19-year-old mood last night. So
I know what 20-year-old moods are.
I don't know. I hope they get more balanced.
Me too.
The main thing is this weekend we're going to have some new coffees online, and hope you guys like them. Send me a PM with the coffees you've had in the past, and then
PM?
I'll give you
What is a
some
PM?
personal message.
Oh.
Or a DM is, I think, direct message. Or
Yeah.
you just send me some type of message or smoke signal tomorrow, and we'll figure out what coffees you've had in the past, and what we've got. I've actually got a yellow bourbon that sometimes we open a bag up and it has two different coffees in it. So when we had to have a coffee out the other day, and then we realized the other coffee in there was that Ikazu Natural. And so we'll have a couple different coffees open this week. Be like 100-pound runs, and then from there we'll sort of go see what people are like and stuff like that. But we can I can always stick a couple samples in for especially anybody that's listened to the podcast.
That's pretty awesome.
Yeah, I think that the first house I bought, there used to be a carport on it. They enclosed the carport and made a living room. And so
That would be fun.
on the other end of the house, there was two really tiny bedrooms. And so I said, well, no, I'm just going to
We would like that.
make that my bedroom, that the garage my bedroom. And then I put in a wood burning stove like we have in the basement. I put that in.
You could also have like lots of shelves on the walls to keep all your tools there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you could. But I just had a giant bedroom. And so had its own. I could park right next to my bedroom and walk right straight in there. And,
that's pretty fun.
Yeah, I had a bunch of wood stored in the corner. So
have a garage door for.
No, I didn't have that, but
that'd be fun though.
Yeah, yeah, that would be pretty cool if you could just drive your car into your house. But, no, I enjoyed it. I had a giant water bed. That was pretty cool. I thought it was cool anyway.
Yeah.
I had a TV in my bedroom. That was the first house I ever bought. So that was 30-something years ago, long time ago. Hey guys, we're not gonna bore you with my first house, but yeah, send me a message for anything that you're curious about, and let me know what you've had before, and we'll try to. I'll let you look over some of the cup and scores of what we have, and y'all can pick out some flavors you like, and we'll sort of go from there. The yellow bourbon, I think normally we just wash the yellow bourbon. It always cups better as a washed. I might have some honey, but we don't ever do it as a natural.
Did we ever try it as natural?
We've tried everything as natural, but the bourbon will cup upwards of 89 as a washed, where it's only gotten 88 as a honey.
How much is
it? It only got 85 as a natural.
Wow.
So, yeah, the natural just doesn't
That's a
suit
big difference.
Mm-hmm. The same thing with the Perinema. We did Perinema 3 years in a row as a natural, and it was 83, 84, where honeys and the washed on the Perinema are, I think the lowest one we've got this year is 86.5 in the Perinema. And the highest is, we placed in the Marcala thing with our Perinema this year.
Seventh?
Yeah, we got 7th place.
Still in the top 10.
Top 10. We were 0.6 of a point different between us and first place.
That's crazy.
So, yeah,
if only we could have just gotten I would have been good with 5 more tenths.
Something like that.
Like 10, second or something.
But it'll be an 88 again this year, and so yeah, a half a point makes all the difference.
Yeah.
Half a point would have been second place. 0.6 would have been first. So next year maybe. But
on it for first next year.
Yeah, I hope so. Last year we were 4th place and 15th.
Wait, if we were the first people to place the Marcala coffee first.
Yeah, first
North Americans to place.
To ever place, to ever enter but then we were the first ones to ever place,
But then,
and we
what would they?
placed twice in both competitions.
What would they say if we got first?
If we got first, yeah, that would be something. Last year we had fourth place and 15th place. This year we had 7th place and 12th place. So
Getting closer.
next year, first and second.
Yeah, that's what I want.
And I found out you could enter 3 coffees. Most of the farmers did 3 coffees. Last year there was only 88 farms. This year there was 121 farmers that entered.
Oh wow!
So no, I was tickled with it. And this year wasn't the best year for a lot of farmers. So a lot of them just went ahead and cut their crops in first week of February and just washed their hands. There was worker shortages and the weather was bad. So
yeah, I did not go.
A lot of them did full with it. So we kept there to the last. We extended our last picking time to let a little more coffee get ripe, and so we've got to wait another week before we send our samples in and start getting samples. I mean, I do have some samples. The samples from January have already come in, but of course I don't have them in front of me. But I've got about 10 sent that. But it'll still be July before the 2024 crop is here. And this year I did 3,400 pounds of the Marciesa Natural. So you can divide 3,400 pounds times 7, and that should be about how many pounds of green coffee I'll have of the Marciesa Natural this year. So we did a lot more of it this year. And I did a Lempira anaerobic. I did 2 55-gallon drums full of that.
Anaerobic.
So the anaerobic will be fun this year. And we'll probably just sell it through word of mouth on the podcast. So,
or through a drawing, we could do that.
Yeah, we'll do a drawing and give some away. And we ought to do that again anyway next week. We ought to put all of our April orders in, and then the last day of April we do a drawing. Or third week of April.
Yeah, because last day of April is someone's birthday.
Yeah, that's my birthday, so you guys can send cash to Legacy Farms Coffee.
Well, you send cash.
Wait, we'll do like the 21st. We'll do a drawing. We'll take all the April green coffee orders and do a drawing and throw in some.
Winner gets coffee. 5 free pounds of anaerobic coffee.
Well, it won't be here by then.
That's true.
It won't be here till July. But,
5 free pounds.
Well, I could bring it at the end of May. If y'all want to do that, I've got to go to Honduras May the 3rd or 5th, something like that. Oh, on the 500. He's talking about 500 Instagram followers. Not my age, smart.
Right. Your age now.
Yeah, we finally broke. I spent $160 on an ad in Facebook.
We got like to $4.99 finally. It just stayed that way for like how long? Like a day or something.
It took a while. But
we
finally broke it. But anybody that's on there, if you guys can recommend us or share some of our videos and stuff, I'll try to. I'm fixing to go in the house and do some marketing pictures. So I'll try to post a couple of things this week. If you guys could share it with some of your friends and family, I'd appreciate it. And
or we get to going again and get to an hour worth of podcast.
Yeah, I think we're at 38 minutes right now.
I know.
But no, we're going to try to just keep growing that Instagram, and we're going to do some more marketing, some more paid marketing, starting here in a couple weeks. But thanks for
more of this.
Yeah. Thanks, guys, for everybody watching tonight. I appreciate that. But yeah, please like us and share us if you find anything interesting, or if you have a topic you want us to cover.
Comment.
Yeah, just comment, send me a message, and we'll cover it. And there are no dumb questions. Just anything you want to know about, you're curious about, whether it's processes or labor shortages or problems on the farm. Next week, we're going to talk about some of the new things we're going to be doing on the farm. We're going to plant more cardamom spice. We're going to plant basil. We're going to try to do 1,000 basil plants, and we're going to do a irrigated half acre of bananas. So there's a couple of things we're doing on the farm.
Maybe some other spices.
We're going to look up what all we can grow on the farm and try to expand it as much as possible.
Maybe some
Eli and I
oregano.
are going to start working on, oregano would be nice. We're going to start working on a rub and get
Ooh,
our
yes.
barbecue grill out.
We tried to do the rub once, and I think we just kind of forgot about it. It will be a coffee cardamom rub, and hopefully in the next couple weeks we'll get that to you. And I guess we'll be eating a lot of steak or something.
Well, it's got a
figure that
lot
out.
of ingredients, but three of the base ingredients are going to be the cardamom spice we grow. The full natural seems to work well, and the coffee cherry tea. Those three things will all be in
Coffee cherry tea.
Yeah, all three of those things will be in the rub. And we're going to try to do a marinade. I brought back some vanilla from Honduras, and we're going to try to do a flavoring that you could comes in a squirt bottle, and you can add a shot of some kind of flavoring in with your coffee.
And who knows, we might even be selling chocolate-covered coffee beans soon.
Yeah, we've been looking at those machines, and we have to look at that again tonight and get one of those ordered and start doing chocolate-covered coffee.
So we got a lot of new coffee coming in. We got container coming sometime in the summer, and we got a lot of new items coming. Hopefully, we can get the rub and the flavoring and the marinade out pretty soon. But I think that's about the plan. And if you guys want to know more about that, we can hopefully get you the recipe or give you an update next week on how it's coming.
There you go. Hey, thanks everybody. We've got a bunch of listeners out watching and liking and all that good stuff. We'll do it again. Let us know if a different night works better for you. We're back in the States now, so we're going to start back with our coffee cherry. Not coffee cherry. I'm looking at what I wrote down. With our martial arts, and so we're picking the nights that we'll be doing that, and we're going to try to figure out a different night to be doing a podcast so it's not so late. Hey Jared, how you doing? Need to get some of that rub. Oh, he's in Memphis. Yeah.
Barbecue.
I've gone to Memphis in May a couple of times. I love that. Love it if I could get down there this year. I'm from Alamo, Tennessee, so that's where we were both born in.
Yeah.
So Tennessee natives here. But the original name of the farm was going to be Tin Can Coffee for
Tennessee, Kansas.
But Julia squashed that idea, and we went with Legacy Farm.
We might be ran.
Hey, Becca. Hey, I was looking over I was cleaning up. I just got back into town, Becca, and there's a bag of Sargie Moore here, and it's in a box, and it got shipped to you back in January, and they for whatever reason it went somewhere to be picked up, and then they sent it back here, and I was gone, so they just stuck it in the on the shelf with all the rest of the coffee. But I have you Sargie Moore Natural, and so that must be the last of Anna's Natural that she had. And then I got a couple more coffees I'm going to send you to try out, so I'll get that resent this week. I'm going to make a note of that.
But I think that is probably a podcast for tonight. If you need to figure everything out, then it'll be posted on YouTube and Facebook.
Yep. And let us know if you have ideas for podcasts. But I sure do appreciate everybody, and thanks for sharing and all. And Becca, we finally hit 500 followers on Instagram like 2 days ago. We've got Bourbon and we've got the Marciesa. I think I have both washed and Honey Marciesa out. We're going to update the website on Friday, and so there'll be a few more coffees on there, Jared. So get with me and let me know what you're wanting, and we'll even if it's not on the website, we'll
try to get it.
We'll get you something. All right, man. Thanks everybody for coming on tonight, and we will. Wow, everybody's loading in now.
Hopefully, everybody will get some of the new coffee, and soon we'll be coming out with some new items, I believe.
All right. Yep, that sounds good.
Start experimenting.
All right. Thanks a lot. Good night, everybody.
Night, guys.